This video is brought to you by my new book, The Boy Without Magic, available in both ebook and paperback. Links in the description. The Naked Gun, in color. Starring Leslie Nielsen as Detective Frank Drebin. Alan North as Captain Ed Hawking. O.J. Simpson as Officer Norberg. Logan Paul as Jeremy Renner. Ashton Kutcher as Steve Jobs. Guest starring Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. Tonight's episode, Romance in Quarantine. Back in high school, one of my favourite film trilogies to rent from the video shop was the Naked Gun trilogy. These three films were hilarious every single time I watched them. And what with the Chinese flu going around and keeping people in their homes, I decided to revisit the first film to see whether or not it still holds up. And I can say this with absolute certainty, it does! It is still funny, and as funny as it was the day it came out. A bit of trivia, believe it or not, this is actually a spin-off to a short-lived TV series called Police Squad, which was a parody of daytime TV cop shows. And I actually managed to get my hands on the episodes of that series, and so many of the jokes in The Naked Gun are still direct parodies of those tropes and conventions of those types of shows. We see it with how the main character constantly narrates what he's thinking as he's driving along, or with how he's talking to his cop buddies, and that sort of stuff. And it's just great to see that there. And Leslie Nielsen, he plays the lead character, Frank Drebin, and he is just a comedic treasure in this movie and its sequels and numerous other comedy films. He was great as a comedic actor, and he was great as a serious actor. But I'm sure you're probably asking, okay, is the comedy good? Well, I know the film's still funny, but I will have to say this though, some of the jokes are dated. That isn't to say even the more dated jokes can't be funny, but a lot of the jokes and references in this film though, they really are products of their time. And I could see a kid in high school stumbling onto this film, checking it out and wondering, oh, I wonder what this is like, and not understanding the terrorist meetup joke at the beginning of the film, not knowing that it's the Ayatollah, Gorbachev, or Saddam Hussein that they're making fun of. But those types of jokes aside though, there is plenty of fantastic humour as Frank tries desperately to stop a real estate mogul from assassinating Queen Elizabeth II. But of course, this is the type of parody film where there's a lot of over-the-top and silly gags, the type that we've seen a dime a dozen in the Simon and Friedberg films, the guys who basically destroyed the parody genre of film. And thankfully, the gags in this film are actually tolerable. They don't wreck the flow, they aren't unfunny, and while they may still be somewhat in the same vein, they're at least tolerable for when they're at their worst. The same though can't be said about the occasional gross-out joke. I'm not a fan of gross-out humour. It can be funny. Look at the fart joke, for instance. It's easy to do, but takes actual skill to pull off. There's a couple of gross-out jokes in this film, though, that don't hit the mark with me, and just had me going, oh, please be over. If you're in isolation and you're looking for something to give you a quick and easy laugh, The Naked Gun is an absolute top choice. Unfortunately though, it's not currently available on Netflix in this region, but a VPN should sort that out, or better yet, you could surf the 7 Seas or find a DVD or a Blu-ray copy. Either way, it's just as funny as the day it came out as it is now, and it is absolutely worth checking out. Especially if you haven't seen it, you are then in for a real comedy treat, and I cannot understate that. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I really do hope it gave you guys some entertainment while you're in quarantine, and made you also check out this great comedy classic. Anyway, for the next movie review, I've got one coming out looking at the horror film Yellow Brick Road. I'll give a quick spoiler here, it was not very satisfying. And for game reviews next month, I'm going to be taking a look at Doom Eternal, and I may also do another one looking at the Resident Evil 3 remake. I've got all that and more coming up, so please stick around, and stay safe.